Oh look, it's Aaron. Sorry, I don't like you anymore. You don't post on a bi-daily basis. Sorry, I've been busy having a life. I used 2 languages in the title, didn't I? Well, what am I saying? I don't know. What is this? I don't know. I watch a lot of movies. And usually, when I watch a movie, I think about it a lot. Don't know why, that's just how I am. No matter how much I hated the movie, how disturbing it was, or like how bad acting or whatever, I think about it a lot. And then I want to talk about it. And then, if I talk about it with my parents, they get annoyed. I think. I don't really know. I thought it would be a good idea to do movie reviews. I'm trying to think of a cute name for them. I don't really know. I'll think of something. But today I'm going to review a movie I watched last night. I don't recommend it to anyone. Okay? No. Do not watch it. And I'm going to spoil it because I do not want you to watch it. And if you don't know the ending, you're going to want to watch it, and I don't want you to watch it. This movie is called Autopsy. So you have a visual idea of what I'm talking about. This is the case. Doesn't seem that bad. This is the back. There are creepy doctors and such. It says, it's autopsy. It's just not for the dead anymore. So you'd think it's about like some crazy doctor performing autopsies on living people, which isn't even possible. And it's by the producer of Final Destination, so I figured, you know, it'd be good. $7. Not worth it. It says, when a car crash leaves a group of college grads stranded in the middle of nowhere, an ambulance arrives and takes them to a nearby hospital. Run by a small team... Why am I so out of breath? Run by a small team of oddball staff and empty of other patients, the hospital is an eerie place, but that's only the beginning. They soon realize that they are in far worse situation than they were before the ambulance came to their rescue. So, you know, it sounds good. The reviews are good. This film oozes with an infectious sense of fun. It was not fun to watch. Okay? I like blood. Okay? I know that sounds weird, but, you know, like in horror movies with the blood all artfully splattered everywhere, it looks cool. That made me sound really insane, doesn't it? But this movie does too much. I know it's about killing people, yeah, but really? Let's just say the best part was someone getting punched in the face. It started off kind of like, you know, these college kids are having fun, you know, they get into a car crash, whoop-de-doo. But somehow this guy ends up under the car, totally fine, despite being, like, escaped from the hospital. So this guy's coming in an ambulance, it's like, okay, you guys look... Ambulance. They say, you guys look pretty banged up, why don't you come with us to the hospital? So get to the hospital, they're in a waiting room, the other guy gets rushed in, he's gone for the rest of the movie. I think they had mentioned that he had died before they got anywhere. Weird. And, I'm not dying. Yeah, so they're all in the waiting room, they're all fine, none of them are really, you know, that badly injured, which is weird. Well, it wasn't that bad a crash. And then, so there are 2 couples, there's Emily and Bobby, a Russian guy and his girlfriend, and then there was Jude, a kiss, and then she's like, oh my god, Bobby, you're bleeding. So, they go inside, and, she's like, oh, help me, my boyfriend is bleeding. So, the receptionist is like, oh my god, we have to check you out. He's like, I'm fine. And then pulls up this huge piece of glass out of his stomach, like this long. And everyone's like, oh my god. And then he just starts, like, convulsing and, like, freaking out. Have a seizure, practically. So they take him away, and the girl's like, oh no, my boyfriend is gone. And so, one by one, they all end up, like, leaving the waiting room. I don't want this video to be too long, so I won't go into more detail. But basically, death. Death, gore, blood. Sounds like Final Destination. It was so much worse than Final Destination. Like, people say Final Destination's bad. Like, some parts are. Like, guts flying out and blood and stuff. But if you saw this movie, Final Destination is like a kid's movie compared to this. Yeah. there were some parts where it was like, you know, what I said earlier about like artfully blood splattered everywhere. But then they'd go into like full detail. This guy getting like I don't know what it was, like his liver or something ripped out by the doctor, and there's blood everywhere. And then this one guy gets drugged, and then he's like seeing things, and he ends up like cutting open his arm fully. Well, that was a bit more like huge slits in his arm. And it was like near the end, she starts like killing the doctors, and first she's like they tie her up to this table, and the doctor's like drilling a hole in her head for no reason. And so then the doctor and the receptionist leave, and then there's this other nurse who's there. So the nurse is like sticking his finger in the hole. I'm sorry if you're squeamish and you're watching this. Oh god, I should probably stop describing it. But then she like kills him with an oxygen tank. She's like, "You sick! Whatever, I'm not allowed to swear." She's like, and then they went into detail, and they like show his face all like bloody and And so, you know, death, more death, pointless death, you know, pointlessness, stuff blowing up, death. And then so they finally get back to the boyfriend, and he's lying, she finds him in the dark, lying on the table, dying, and she's like, "Oh no, we'll get you out, we'll get you out." Turns on the lights, all his guts are out of his body, hanging from hooks on the ceiling, all around his head, like some sort of frickin' mobile. And they're all pulsing, even though they really shouldn't be, and it doesn't really look realistic, but it's just, the thought is so gross, you know? And then, so the whole time this doctor's wife was dying of cancer, and that's why he was doing this, like, I don't know, somehow the guy having his guts all around in the ceiling was helping her live, and I don't know. There were two endings, and the first one left a lot of questions. It was kind of a suspenseful, like, oh my god, what happened next? And, the second one was even more confusing. Just so bad. So bad. I got, like, an hour of sleep last night. Well, it wasn't just because of the movie, but, like, every time I would put my phone away, like, on my phone, I said, "Okay, time to sleep now," put it away. Blood! Guts everywhere! And then, so, usually when I'm thinking about a horror movie that I don't like, I'll think about, like, okay, think about someone you like, think about someone you like. So I was like, think about Dan It's Not On Fire, because I've been, like, that's what I do. Thinking about his new video. And so I imagine him with his guts everywhere. I didn't like the movie. Let's just say that. Don't watch it. I'm, like, the epitome of okay with this stuff, and it was just... Don't watch it. Just don't. This video wasn't funny at all. I'll make more reviews for movies. Hopefully they'll be more entertaining and less mentally scarring. Don't watch the movie. Goodbye. Okay, after filming this, I decided I want to film parts of it again, which I'm actually not going to do anymore, but I threw the DVD case back, and now I can't find it. It vanished. Literally. Like, I don't know how it happened, and now it's going to kill me in my sleep. Thank you. It somehow ended up under my bed.